Good morning, good afternoon, lovely good evening. Welcome back to Sparklethorn Designs. I have something a little different. It's not, and it is. Something that I usually put inside my junk journal at Christmas, but Rebecca Hoot does one of these if you want to bounce over to her channel. Also, I found some Etsy products that are designated for just a Christmas planner. So I wanted to give it a shot this year. So to get started with, I'm going to put up a couple of little pictures. This is a spiral notebook that I bought at Dollar General. And then I went in and I had covered it. I used felt and then covered it with this. I didn't glue everything down. I didn't want to mess up the spiral thing because I wasn't exactly sure how that would work. And so when I got to the end, I was like, oh, well, I didn't glue those, but I think it'll be okay. All right, so not quite finished. I haven't decided. I think I want to put some cardstock here and then maybe cover it with some pretty sticker paper. But to make that look a little more finished. Some of it is kind of this pink. My ink ran out and I just decided to go ahead and use it anyway. I think next year I'm going to be very careful about making sure that it's all prim and proper with the color schemes. But this is the junk journal. Nope. Let me start again because that's usually what it is. This is the Christmas planner, because see, it says Christmas planner, that I picked up off of Etsy. And so I used some of those, and then I loved the little bit of green that there was, so I cut the pages so that I could still see some of that as well. So I'm using kind of some of Rebecca Hoot's things, and I'm using some of the Etsy things, and I combine them all together, and we're going to see what I like and deal with it next year. So in Rebecca's, she does October, November, and December calendars, and she starts planning there. I haven't printed my calendars yet, so that's not there just quite yet. And then here is important dates. Now, a lot of these pages came in a double-sided, two pages on one. For instance, it might have been something like this and something like this, but I cut them down to kind of fit my needs. So here's my important dates. They also came with these tabs, and as you can see, these are pink and these are red. That's the ink thing again. And then after we go through this real quick, I'm going to go in and maybe write a few things and just use it. But here is the to-do list. This one is traditions, and I've got one of these that says traditions, but I don't know what I've done with it just at the moment, so I'll put that on here. Write all my traditions down. Christmas cards and where we're going to send them. And if I send them, I don't even know if I sent any last year. Crafts and Advent, and as you can see, I wrote that on the tab because these actually came with little, there weren't any blank ones, but they're blank on this side, so I just wrote on that because I want to write down the crafts and write about my Advent plans. Dinners, we don't do a lot of big dinners, but I put this in there just to include it. Here's the Christmas menu, which I think is super cute. And then here is your grocery list, and it has all the different items that you can add in there. Here is my baking up a storm, and I added another to-do list to just kind of, I was thinking maybe, just some different things I want to bake, and then maybe ingredients or, grocery list or whatever I need for that. Here is my gift list and my Christmas wish list to do. This one is the actual double page because I loved it because of the stockings. So here's the little stocking fillers. And then here's the Christmas event planner. Again, we don't typically do parties and things. I included it in case, you know, I decide to do something. And basically for this junk journal, it's not really a junk journal, but for this Christmas planner, if I quit saying junk journal. And then I have 2 pages of Christmas planning and notes. And then all these pages will be for the next couple of years. If you go back and watch Rebecca's, she keeps a planner, and then she goes back and uses last year's planner to decide, you know, what she wants to do this year or take off or whatever, which is something that we're going to kind of do a little bit of. Pull out my handy little glitter red pen. And I used some of her things in my junk journal last year. I didn't do just an actual planner, so I thought I could pull that out. And just look through it real quick to see what I could put into that's going to be fun to hold one open and write with the other. So I don't know that I'm going to start with the reminders, but my to-do list for sure is going to be I need to go Christmas shopping. I still need to pull out my decorations. And I want to decorate the door. I'm going to decorate the baker's rack. Just decorate just the house in general. I'm going to need to get some work gifts for the party. I'm going to write it over here. We're going to do some wrapping of the gifts. What else? Just looking through last year's journal. I'm sure you guys don't want to see stuff that was written in there. Okay, I'm going to flip back to stockings. And last year, let's see, I put a few things on there, and then see here I'm going to do Eric, Samantha, Highland, there's not a lot of room there, is there? I guess I'll need to write smaller. That's just a little bit there. We'll come back. I'll come back and do that later. Let me look real quick and just see. I do know in the Christmas dinners. Here we go. One of the things that we'll need is rolls. My daughter has a specific kind that is local to the area she loves, so we'll definitely be putting that on our list. Doesn't look like I wrote a whole lot of my things in there from last year. I'm going to be glued to my book this year. I want to make sure I start really writing things down, including things. Yeah, I didn't. Okay. All right, so there, that one got all twisted up. So with Advent this year, I have these little Advent cards. So I want to read my Advent cards. I think I'm going to do that at work. And then I also picked up, let me see if I can find it. My desk, as per usual, is an absolute nightmare. Where did I lay that? Oh, here it is. I picked up this book. They have this in Kindle format as well, but it is Devotions for the Advent Christmas for 25-26, and it's just an everyday. It's got verses, and it's got a prayer, things to think about, and I thought, I think that would be a great opportunity to focus and put my thoughts on God. So I'm going to write humble and joy. And then something that I also want to add onto my to-do list is I want to purchase, and this is something that I really need to do probably up here at the top, but I want to, maybe I'll put it on this page. I want to purchase my Advent my Advent candles. Crafts, one of the things that I want to do is, which I should do this month, and I don't know if that'll happen, but I have a Buddy the Elf wreath that I've actually had in the works for, I think, 2 years, and I just have never finished it. So I'd really like to do that. And then I don't know, I'm going to make a there's a lady I work with who loves sloths, and I have a couple of different Etsy sets that are junk journal sloth things, and I thought I'd make her maybe something this big, maybe a little bit smaller. She just had eye surgery, so I might need to make it a little bit bigger for her. She's doing great, and I love that. She is one of the sweetest. Let me tell you, the people I work with right now are some of the sweetest people ever. And then the cards. I probably will make cards for everybody I work with, but I don't really want to put that on here. But I probably will send Salmon Highland a card. I'll probably send my friend Angela and Callie. They don't leave you much room for the name. I mean, I know it's small, but I don't write that small anymore. Probably my brother. Traditions. May have to pull out an older junk journal. I like to watch Christmas movies on Christmas Eve. We always watch The Christmas Story. Because, you know, they play that 24 hours on Christmas Day. We always like to open one gift. Christmas Eve. We like to go looking at the lights, which I don't think we did like last year. Well, I'm not going to bore you guys with me to sit around and wonder what all I need to put in there. I do like to make Christmas fudge, so I will put that. Sometimes I like to make some cookies. I don't know if I'll be doing that this year or not, but that gives you an idea anyway. I do plan to put an iron-on with my Cricut on this, maybe not until next year, because I haven't decided if I want it to say Christmas planner or holiday planner or exactly what I want to do with it. So I'm going to kind of with that and with the inside cover and the back cover, I'm probably going to put, I don't really like the way this hangs out. I didn't think a lot about that when I put it down, and they're kind of a little bit uneven. So I'm thinking about getting some lace or something and maybe putting it completely around it. But I hope you guys enjoyed the Christmas planner. I'm looking forward to using it a little bit more. And y'all go out and spread God's love. Have an absolutely amazing day, and I'll see you soon. Bye.